hear what happened? Another mayor has resigned.
Yeah, they're falling like flies.
Why do you think that is, Frank?
Well,
Do you think they're all above the books, on the record?
the mayor of Montreal resigned about a week ago.
Yeah, Gérald Tremblay, finally.
Mayor-
You spent some good time talking about Gérald on this show, right?
That's right. Mayor Vaillancourt resigned just the other day.
Vaillancourt from the city of?
Laval,
Wow.
the third
Don't you
biggest.
live in Laval?
Yeah, the third biggest city. So what's bothering you? The fact that they're quitting, or what else is
Do
bothering
you
you?
think, Frank, it's normal that in a society you have to have permission to go find out, to scratch and find out how much money has been pilfered, and offer those people that are speaking out immunity from the money that they're taking? So to get this, right, the guy comes in front of Frank Cavallaro and says, you know what, I'm going to declare $600,000, and for that money, he's covered, right? But maybe there's another 100 or 200, so to his advantage to declare even more.
So you're saying he's adding on.
Probably he's adding.
In case they audit him, he can say, "Hey, I declared 600,000."
So what I'm trying to tell you, Frank, is even the corruption commission is corrupted.
So what's the solution? Then? What
I
do you
don't
do?
know. And because of all of that, I mean, we've been able to extricate from these people that there is a lot of ties leading back to very, very top people in the city, right? Mayor Tremblay is running how many arrondissements altogether, right? How many different neighborhoods he's put together? The guy's running a fair amount of money.
Yeah, he is.
Even Vaillancourt, third largest city, as you said, right?
But do you believe, when you look at Tremblay and Vaillancourt, when I look at Tremblay, I honestly believe that he directly did not do anything wrong. I think he closed his eyes. He said, you know what? I don't want to know. Don't tell me.
No.
Instead, the other guy, the other mayor, allegedly took all this money. I believe that Tremblay didn't run, he had his soldiers underneath, but he didn't want to know. He had his blinders
Frank,
on.
I think they all knew at some level. I don't think they knew officially speaking. I don't think he ever wrote an email or he wrote a memo to the guys to explain to him what was happening. But I think verbally at nighttime or Christmas parties, I think he knew exactly what was going down. I'm pretty sure some of the money and some of the racketeering was coming back to him. And Frank, anyways, it's just a matter of time that Frank Cavallaro is going to conclude the commission, which is going to put out a report. And we will see the ties leading back to Gérald. Because if he was so non-guilty, Frank, would he have even consider taking a week of sick days to think about his future?
I think that was done strategically because
to get him past the due date there, the deadline date?
the deadline is if you resign a year before the election,
Right.
you don't have to have another election. So I think that was strategic.
To save some money.
Even Vaillancourt.
And for Vaillancourt, same thing.
Same thing.
But these guys are falling like flies. Do you think they're all clean and on the record?
No, I don't. I'm not saying they're clean, but I believe
They
that
didn't really know.
one guy, I think Tremblay he knew, but he wasn't directly involved. I think the other guy probably was directly involved, but maybe stuffing money in his safety deposit box.
No, for sure he was.
Millions and millions of dollars
I mean, just think
allegedly.
about it. Even if he takes $500,000 a year, over 20 years, that's a lot of coin. He wouldn't even know what to do with that.
But the thing you got to say about Mayor Vaillancourt, I've lived in Laval now for the last.
He did change that city.
He's changed the city.
Well, I want to take it back and tell you, imagine what Vaillancourt did with all 20-25% corruption. Imagine what Laval could have been.
Yeah.
It's always the question I ask. What Ville de Montréal could have been.
Metro station, new bridge,
Yeah.
shopping malls,
What we could have
condos.
had.
Yeah.
What could we have had?
Montreal, though, on the other hand, has not developed the way it should.
I agree.
I mean, when you've got
Urban planning is lacking.
when you've got engineers pocketing $500,000-600,000,
Yes.
and the mayor doesn't know about it,
Right.
and the roads are falling apart,
Yeah.
and the infrastructure is
Yeah.
falling apart.
And there's no real city planning that's been done. There's no real nice areas of Montreal, like in Toronto, where they're dividing it up. You look at the condo projects, the money that Toronto is bringing in. You look at the infrastructure they placed upon which to build something. I mean, just look at the way they finished that airport downtown, the Porter City Center Airport, the one at Billy Bishop. I mean, we could have done that, Frank. I've already told you, that was the Nuns Island project.
Yeah.
To build an airport at Nuns Island, where they land straight, 10 minutes from the city, with a shuttle rail straight into the middle of the city. Could have been done. All these were the dreams, the forgotten dreams of Montreal. Why? Because we spent our time talking about corruption, taking the money, language, and politics.
Separation.
And the eventual separation of this country. What country? And the other thing I want, speaking of mayors, I mean, it's only Vaillancourt and Tremblay this week. But if you remember, about 6 months ago, remember who was coming back from vacation? Come on, Frank, you don't remember? The guy from Mascouche.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He was coming.
Yeah, that's true. So he's another guy
Frank, remind us how he got picked up.
at the airport. So are they all still up there?
What do you think, Frank?
So okay, but here's what I want to know. Are these guys going to go to jail?
Well, I think they've resigned for a good reason, no?
Not to go to jail.
Exactly.
But can't they still get nailed?
They have to repay the money, but they're not in power anymore.
But they're still being raided. Their bank accounts are being raided.
They will find something. Don't worry, they will find the money. That's for sure. You can't just bury money. It's not freaking Sicily here. They're gonna find the money. Don't worry about it. But the other thing I was gonna say is, I'll never forget that title from the Journal de Montréal. You remember the Monday morning? They picked him up on a Sunday. The guy from the airport, the mayor of Scotia.
What did they write?
On Monday morning, there was a picture of him, 1,000 lights is coming out of Trudeau Airport, and it says, "Les vacances sont finies."
Yeah, but that's a nice line.
What a way to finish your vacation.
You come home and they arrest you.
Les vacances sont finies. Is that a way to finish your vacation?
Unbelievable.
But Frank, this is a national tragedy for us, you know?
But the sad thing about all of this, not only is it giving Montreal a bad name,
Yes.
the rest of Canada
It's laughing at us.
laughing at us because Montreal, Quebec, the whole province is in the news literally every single day.
And not in a good light.
Not in a good light.
Not in a good light. Actually, my friend, again, another friend of mine who moved from Toronto to Montreal, came back and mentioned to me that he's calling his HR to verify his paycheck because more than 50% of his pay has been surrendered at source. And I told him, wake up, this is Quebec. It's 50%. It's 22% federal and 25% provincial. They're going to take it at source.
Yeah.
And what have they done with that money? There you go. That's where we are today. So listen, thank you for watching. I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, but that's the way it is. I mean, people that come from out of town and move here don't realize how much money.
They come for the European flair. They come for the joie de vivre. They come to drink wine.
And the taxes.
But the thing is, we have to suffer the taxes on Monday morning. We're the ones that paid for all that. And we didn't get what we were deserved. That's for sure. We did not get what we were deserved.
So how do you think it's going to turn out? What's going to happen in the next year? Now there's going to be elections next year?
Yeah. I think before the election, Charbonneau's going to release their report. I think they're going to find solid stuff. And I hope, as a positive finish to this, I hope that it's going to change the way business is done at Ville-de-Montréal. I hope we can repatriate thousands and thousands of dollars, bring it back, put it in our streets, put it in our buildings, put it in urban planning, because I know there's a lot of creative and artistic people here that are just waiting for that money to build a great city. And we can do it.
You can do it, definitely.
We can do it. We've paid for it, Frank. We've already paid for it.
Yeah, but we've got to stamp out corruption in all levels. That's what's bothering you. Bob Nag, Frank Cavallaro from Leonardo da Vinci. We're here every Saturday morning at 11.